Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willies. This is a progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, progressive, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. We are an independent media outlet that, unlike mainstream media beholden to corporations, we only owe allegiance to you. Remember, you can also send me a tweet at EGBERTOWILLIES. That is at Egberto Willies. Let us engage. It is Politics Done Right. Well, folks, welcome to one more edition of Politics and Random. Egberto Willies, your host. Thank you so kindly for being a part of the show. We are going to have a great show for you today. I'm back. Yes, I'm back in Houston, Texas, after being in Washington, D.C. for, I think, about 4 or 5 days. Let's see, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, I got back today, so 4 days. Went to take care of my daughter, moved to her apartment, built a whole bunch of IKEA stuff. That's a whole lot of work, but it's worth the expense because it's cheap and you can build your stuff. It's great. So that's what I did over the weekend, and also got to hug my daughter, which I needed to do. Anyhow, folks, we're going to have a great show for you today. Let's see. Michael Rudnin has already started. What is he saying? When asked to name a famous Asian American, 42% of respondents answered they don't know. The next most popular choice were martial arts legend Jackie Chan, who's from Hong Kong, and Bruce Lee, who died nearly a half century ago. The results were similar across racial groups. Among blacks, white and Latino Americans, don't know. Don't know. That was the constant answer. I'll start, or rather, let's say, this is America. Name your favorite Asian American and promote what you love that they do. I'll start. Hassan Minja, Patriot Act. Second item from El Señor Rodnin. I am immunocompromised and the vaccine may not keep me safe. As the country reopens and mass mandates lift, millions of people like me feel scared and abandoned. Opening the economy before herd immunity by vaccination is a mistake our nation makes time and again. We won't learn even after the body count spikes. There are 6 groups who still haven't gotten the vaccines. The immunocompromised who can't be vaccinated are now most at risk as the people lower their guards, take off their masks, and stop social distancing guidelines. Children who the vaccines aren't spec'd for yet. The wait list, those who are still waiting on their appointments to get the first and second doses. The overworked, those whose work prevent them from having enough days off to get vaccinated and then comfortably recover. The vaccine hesitant who are still waiting despite sufficient proof of the vaccines are safe and effective. And the anti-vaxxers who are too far gone delusionally to help. Yep. That is also true. The immunosuppressed are one of the ones that I worry about the most. The children, secondly, but the immunosuppressed because, again, some of them can't take the vaccine because we don't know how their immune system would react to it, numero uno. And numero dos, it has been proven, I think, already that those who are immunosuppressed don't react as potently to the vaccine as those whose immune system are less immunosuppressed. And notice I no longer say people are either immunosuppressed or not, because the immune system varies and everybody suffers some sort of gradation of immunity. So that's where we're at. Next one from Rudnin. Could Trump be reinstated as president in August 2021? There's no constitutional way for this to happen. Right-wing bubble is breeding insanity again, and we'll talk about where they get that kind of stuff today. It's amazing. Like I said, either you're reading the pre-show stuff, or we are aligned more so than we may think, Brother Rudnin. And the last one from Rudnin says, U.S. CDC director urges teens to get vaccinated after hospitalization rise. I'm deeply concerned by the numbers of hospitalized adolescents and saddened to see the number of adolescents who require treatment in intensive care units or mechanical ventilation. CDC Director Rachel Walensky. Teens won't likely die from COVID, but if they do get it, they might have a bad time in the hospital. There's also the worry of unvaccinated teens passing to family members who are yet to be vaccinated, including any hesitant idiots among the adults. But here's something else you have to think about. Right now, when somebody gets COVID and they get over COVID, and I'm not talking about what they call long COVID. Long COVID is one issue where you continue to be sort of sick, weak. You have all these issues with you after having had COVID. But there are also people who get damage to their different organs permanently. I have relatives who've gotten COVID, kidney problems, stroke problems, clot problems in their brains, clot problems in their lungs, clot problems in their legs. This is serious because the body doesn't, look, COVID is one of the coronaviruses, but since the body doesn't know what to do with it, it has a particular kind of explosion in your body that causes cells to blow up, cells to clot, all kinds of nasty things happen, and then that causes a domino effect in destroying your organs. So folks, get vaccinated. They say, oh, well, 10 people died from the vaccine or 10 people got ill from the vaccine. Yeah, but over 600,000 people died from the virus. Please remember that. The world cannot wait. House Democrats urge Biden to invest $25 billion to boost global vaccine supply. I think he's going to advertise something today if he hasn't yet. As you know, wealthy countries have administered more than 80% of global vaccines, while low-income countries have received just 0.3%. The House Democrats wrote a letter to Biden. The New York Times editorial board recently issued a dire warning that without a major course correction, the rest of the world will have to wait till 2023 or later for large-scale vaccination initiatives to prevent humanitarian catastrophe that heightens the risk of emergency of vaccine, viral strain, You get it. You get the point. But I want to expand on that. Jesus Christ, Rudnin. I'm going to have to stop and get into the show because you have a lot today. Love it for you having all of that. I'll get back to some of those a little later. But here's the deal, folks, with the vaccine. This is very important. Everything that you've seen in COVID right now is a perfect example why it is evil to have a healthcare system in a for-profit domain. When you talk about a pandemic, viruses don't know borders. Illnesses don't know borders. So we can protect ourselves or think we're protected, and it happens overseas and something mutates and it comes right back to us and then kills us because the for-profit companies want to make sure that all these governments buy the medicine from them, buy the vaccines from them, so they can fatten their budgets with a profit. It's evil. It is evil. This is the most evil portion of capitalism I can think of. Look, I don't have anything against profit at all. I had a business, I made profit. But there's particular parts of our economy that does not belong in the profit domain because it's about humanity, not a choice. You break a leg, do we decide whether we're going to fix it or not? We always know we're going to fix it. So let's make the payment for those things honest. All right, let's see. Let's go back to Bridge MCP. Welcome aboard. She says, laughing my ass off, so he is being punished. LOL, J. King. Bridge MCP on the iron, a 22-year-old impersonator charged with tricking Donald Trump supporters into giving him thousands. That's funny. Bridge MCP, welcome back and thank you. I got the book today. Whoop, whoop. I'm glad you did. Eric Hayes, wonder why two blue mayoral races turn red? Could it be that those areas are tired of the same old? No. I'm glad that happened because what usually happened in those cases, Democrats take Democrats for granted just like Republicans take Republicans for granted. They don't think they have to go out there and earn the vote. I am one who believes every progressive, every Democrat, every Republican should be saturated into the places where they're hoping to get the votes from. They should be in there telling the people, if you elect me, this is what I'm going to do for you. You know what happened in 2020? Even though Democrats won 2020 big in the presidential and marginally in the House of Representatives, and big in the Senate, here's what happened. Republicans did better marketing in 2020 as well. Democrats hate when I say that, but Republicans we were locked up on Zoom, justifiably. But even as we were locked up on Zoom, we did not engage as much as we could have. Republicans were in their people's face, and while Trump was spreading the virus with these big rallies, he was also touching a lot of people. And since a large percentage of these people didn't get the virus, well, hey, that's good. So that's what it's all about. Okay, yeah, read the Eric, weird that Hispanics vote that way. It is weird. It is weird, but understandable. I was speaking to, if you guys saw the interview I did with the chairman of the Harris County Democratic Party, and I explained to her that I went into the Latino communities and we were talking in Spanish, etc. And there's a certain symbiotic relationship between Latinos and the Republican Party on certain issues like abortion, etc., etc. Democrats haven't yet made the case that Democrats come out as sounding like we are pro-abortion. And hear what I'm saying very well. Democrats allow them to be framed as pro-killing babies as opposed to pro-woman's choice. In other words, we men, other people should have no impact on a woman's body. It's hers. She decides what to happen. And when that message is portrayed in a manner that gives the person that independence and also shows that those people who are supposedly pro-life are really anti-life, because after that baby comes into life, they want to give that baby absolutely no support. None whatsoever. And that is anti-life. But we don't know how to go for the jugular properly. Michael Rudden said, my aunt has long COVID. She never recovered properly. Persistent lung problem. That's what we're all about. Eric Hayes, welcome aboard. Jessica Taylor, welcome aboard. Bridge MCP says, Eric might have voted against the interest, meaning uninformed voters, exactly. Egberto wraps the book so well. It took a machete. You know what a machete is? That's what we use in Latin America to cut grass, guys. It took a machete to open it. I hope you put that. All you guys, I just sent out a bunch of books that I had to pack myself, and I included in those books a bumper sticker and also a card that says, "Hey guys, also become a patron." I included all these things in the book thing, right? And a guy went ahead and said, "Hey," he came on to Twitter, and he said he got his book. And you know what he did? And I'd love more people to do this. Let me show you what he did. He got his book, but more than getting his book, he went and he put this onto the screen. Let me go ahead and put the tweet that he did. Para ver. He went ahead and showed everything that we gave him. And that's what he posted that as a tweet. He got his book, he got the Politics and Right sticker, and he got the Independent Network solicitation. So guys, if you buy the book directly at politicsandright.com/store, I packed that myself. I signed the book myself, and I send it out to you guys. You know I love you all, man. So go ahead, please get the book. And where do you get my book? If you want to get it directly from me, where I signed it and send you those little goodies, just go and get it at politicsandright.com/store. But if you want to go ahead and get it just at Amazon, where Amazon ships it out in their stuff, just send it. Just go to politicsandright.com/books. And I tell you what, anybody who gets the books, just drop me a line if you want a receipt. Send me your address and all that good stuff, and I'll go ahead and put the bumper sticker in a piece of mail and send it out for you as well. So I mean, I want everybody to have the sticker and go ahead and help us promote Politics Done Right everywhere. Anyway, Bridge MCP says, yeah, read the Eric, where that is. Yeah, okay, I saw that one. Please move away from radical stuff. We have a president, and that will so 2024, but could change them. A lot will depend on 2022. Yes, it will. All right, let's see what else we got here. Jessica Taylor, I think I saluted you already, Jessica. Deborah John said Republicans refuse to pass women equal pay. I could not believe that. But here's what's disturbing about that. Republicans, I think they filibustered equal women's pay. They voted it down, right? Biden are sleeping and trying to believe they're playing into the Republican schemes. If Biden don't use his power to pass bills, it's not up to Biden, it's up to Manchin. That's where it's going to happen. And Manchin has to get it. But here's the deal. We don't have to get all these bills passed right now. What we have to do is market that these bills have not been passed and what it means that they haven't been passed. The bill that says women, we are not going to make sure women pay is equal to that of men. Why isn't that a national story for the Democratic Party? Why aren't they saying Republicans think women are lesser than men? Where are all the ads out there that says they wouldn't even make sure that women must get paid equally as men do? That should be carte blanche. That should be out there for women to know. Every Republican woman should know that those Republican men in Congress said, no, you do not deserve the same pay as men. But where's our vote? Where's our peace? We're talking infrastructure. We're talking all this stuff. Oh, they stopped the infrastructure negotiations. They stopped. But we can tell you something that materially affects women right now. All women in the United States. All women in the United States are affected by this. You are not guaranteed as a woman to get pay commensurate with that of a man. And the Republicans are ensuring that patriarchy remains. It's that simple. And for those who don't understand what patriarchy remains is, you have all kinds of ads. You have the ads that work for the college student. You have the ads that work for the older folk. You have the ad that works for the McDonald's employee. And you put that all over the place. They decided that all you women should make less than men. Tom C., welcome aboard, my brother. Filibuster-loving Joe Manchin is a dinosaur, old Democrat in name only, who will think the GOP will negotiate on common sense. He doesn't think that. Look, he's from a Republican state. No Democrat wins nationally over there, right? What we have to do, and this is something else that I talk about a lot. I don't like Manchin, right? I think Manchin should say, I am going to bite the bullet. I'm going to do what's right. And let's see if I can win as a progressive Democrat doing what's right in a red state where I help the people. I think these guys underestimate the people if they talk to the people. They underestimate the people if they treat the people like intelligent beings. And I think that's what they should do. And I think that's what Manchin should do. I understand for his own sake why he may say, I don't want to go ahead and push too hard because of my people. But what can I say? Anyhow, Jessica Taylor says abortion and gay rights issue seem to make people of color vote Republican, even though overall it's not beneficial to his demographic. That is true. And I've given my confession before. I came from Panama, a Latin American country. I am of Caribbean Latin American descent. Black, Latino, Caribbean. 3 strikes. Black folk, Latinos, and Caribbean folks all have or not all, but a large percentage go through the blood because of our rearing of being homophobes. I extricated that out of my life over the last several decades. But I understand culture, and we have to change culture that makes no sense. And my atonement has always been to let people understand that I was a failure on social issues where it came to homosexualism, when it came to sexism. I was a failure when I got to the United States of America. And I redeemed myself, and I have been atoning ever since. And when you do that, when you ensure that that's done, we can actually make a change. Okay, let's continue. Oh my God, I was just taking a pic like that. All the stuff, and you signed it. Felt warming. Of course it's heartwarming. You guys are my peeps. If you get a book from me, the least I can do, if you purchase it from me, that is, the least I can do is sign it. Now, if you get it from Amazon, I'll sign I'll sign a sheet with the sticker that I sent you after you tell me, hey, Berto, send me a sticker, or rather, send me a bumper sticker. All right, Tom C says, glad you got it. Great reading. All right. Bridge says, Koch brothers brought a new mansion in West Virginia. That is funny. Yvette Avery Herod, buenas tardes, amiga mia. Welcome to the program. Koch brother bought a new mansion in West Virginia. I love that. That's kind of funny. Micah Rudnitz is, well, that's a reply. That's a reply. Okay, I want to get into the program, but let's see. Deborah John, it's time to mobilize. Deborah, we are mobilizing. Everybody can join the field, and everybody can do it. Egberto, nice Halloween spirited shirt. It's not a Halloween shirt. It is my politics. It's one of the many politics done right designs, okay? Go either, if you're on YouTube, you can just go to the rack and pick it out, or go to politicsdoneright.com/store. Please do it. You support the show. I need it, especially after going to IKEA and having to get all that stuff for my daughter because she moved from one apartment to the next, one apartment to the next to finish. She's finishing med school 6 months late because of the stroke. Please wish her all the luck possible, because I can tell you one thing. The stroke is very hard on her. We were doing some PT and OT yesterday. That is occupational therapy and physical therapy with her. As we move, we do some therapy. We move, we do some therapy, because her left side is really bad. You guys have seen her on my show a couple of times. She, for a while after that, she went very south on her left side. It was almost unusable. She's getting quite a bit better, but she's studying, and she expects to be a doctor by the end of the year. But I tell you, I love that girl. She is a trooper. She is a trooper, a trooper, a trooper. That's my girl. Anyhow, getting back to business. Earlier, Rudnin was talking about people not vaccinated and how did people get that way, etc. Today, there was a good piece on Fox News about Fox News, and I want you to listen to this, because here's what happens. There was only Fox News, so Fox News was pretty bad, as all we know. They lied to their audience, etc. But they got worse. But there was a reason they had to get worse, because of Newsmax and because of OAN. And if you guys remember, like I told you, I want to put this on the screen. There is OAN. How are they rated again? They are rated as not credible. Then, of course, there's Fox News, rated again, not credible. And then there is Newsmax, rated not credible. And, of course, guess who's rated as well? Politics Done Right. And what is Politics Done Right rated as? We are very, very dependable. So just wanted to put that on the screen for you. Anyhow, so as it turns out, I want you to listen to what goes on here on Fox News, and then we'll take it on the other side.
Of course, if you're a regular viewer of this network, you've heard and seen the footage, like we were just showing as B-roll, the violent insurrection perpetrated by Trump supporters at the U.S. Capitol. But if you're a Fox News viewer, you've been told essentially the opposite. You probably have not heard that much about it at all.
We don't need no stinking commission to tell us what happened on January 6th. At least no one with a brain does. We already know what happened. First, there was an election that some believed was tainted by fraud.
It's when a bunch of middle-aged people deep in credit card debt, white supremacists, teamed up with a guy dressed like Chewbacca to overthrow our democracy. Any proceeding would be used as yet another smear campaign against Donald Trump, all Republicans, and Trump supporters everywhere.
Fox News Media CEO Suzanne Scott and the management team tried to find a way to lure the Fox audience back home. They did it by giving the viewers what they wanted, false hope. On Fox, Trump was treated as a political genius, not a lame duck who failed to win a re-election. And Brian Stelter joins me now. Brian, this came out obviously before these events, and then you did some rewriting for the paperback. And there was this really fascinating moment after the election where really for the first time in its entire time on cable news that Fox had real competition from sort of upstart right-wing networks that were eating into their audience. We were seeing the numbers every night in ways we hadn't before. What did that do? How did that play out in Fox, and what did it do to them and how they thought about what they were putting on air?
It terrified Fox producers and anchors and hosts like they've never been scared before. Because as you said, Chris, Fox had a monopoly on right-wing TV. And all that changed after November 3rd. Newsmax and One American News cut into the base audience, and Fox desperately lured them back by running to the right. It happened step by step, day by day. It was kind of hard to notice if you were only watching minute by minute. But when I stepped back for Hoax, it is clear every move Fox has made in the last 6 months is about getting rid of the news and adding more opinion about the news. And the result is it has worked. They have scared away Newsmax. They have rebounded in the ratings because they have radicalized.
The view from certain parts, at least at the top of Fox, was like Joe Biden won this election and we should tell our viewers that. And that was what created the opening for Newsmax and One American News because people didn't want to hear that.
Yes, they created an incredible amount of tension within Fox because viewers had an option. They had an option to go to Newsmax where Biden was not president-elect, where Trump might still be a winner.
Right.
And of course, I think a lot of that contributes to the environment that we then deal with on January 6th. If you didn't have these months of commentary, if you didn't have these months of lies on Fox and Newsmax, you do not get to the steps of the Capitol. It just can't happen without this radicalizing effect of right-wing TV.
Who's giving the orders and who's receiving them? Who is following whom? Which has been a question throughout. Fox tries to set the agenda and they find they can't do it, that everyone is chasing the same base. Everyone thinks they're following.
That's why so many sources at Fox started to leak to me in the Trump years. They were disturbed by the fact that they were setting the agenda for the president. A White House aide, a Trump White House aide said to me, Trump suffered from Fox News brain. He was in a cave of his own making.
Right.
That is scary, but what's scarier is that millions of viewers are there as well. And that is appreciably different from the Bush or the Obama years. There are real journalists at Fox, but there are fewer and fewer of them. They have fewer and fewer airtime, and they feel more and more pressure to toe the right-wing line. That's a story 20 years in the making, and it just moves along the same path. You know, if you're a reporter at Fox, you know the three-step approach that I outline in Hoax, the three-step approach to whitewashing bad news about the GOP. You ignore it if you can, or you excuse it if you can't, or you conspiracize it. And that's what we're seeing with the riot now. They ignore all the news every day about the fallout from the Capitol attack.
Right.
And when they can't ignore it, they come up with conspiracy theories about it.
Absolutely. I want to show you guys again. One American Network rating poor. Fox News rating poor. Newsmax rating poor. Now, EgbertoWillies.com high. Not my rating. That is what's from a national organization that rates all news sources. So for all my conservatives that are listening and anybody else who wants to know if we do our homework here, rest assured, we do, and it has been noted that we do our homework. So anyhow, folks, let's see. Eric Hayes, luck and well. Thank you for the kind words for my daughter. Well, thank you, Bruce Pollard, for welcoming me back home. Let's see. Also, we have Jessica Taylor says, praying for your baby girl. Bridge MCP says, always saying prayers for Ashley. Such spirit and drive. Yes, that's my baby. Wonder where she get this from. I hope she's somewhat like her daddy now. Actually, she's a daddy's girl. Eric Hayes, don't shame people on COVID stuff. It is personal choices. I am not trying to shame anybody on COVID stuff. But Eric, as a friend, okay? I'll be playing right here. As a friend, it is my responsibility to you. If you have hang-ups about the drug, it's not about shaming you. It's about pushing you to do the right thing. And if for some reason I hurt your feelings and you happen to take the vaccine, I rather have you be hurt in feelings and not like me so very much, but you're still alive with a vaccine in your arm. I will take you a shun. I will take you not liking me for a while if you go ahead and take a damn vaccine and don't die. Yvette Avery Herod says, sending prayers up. Had to move my daughter yesterday. I hope your move went as well. I'm saying as well as mine did. I have not worked this hard in my life. I had 2 days of over 1,300 steps. I said 12,000, 13,000. 13,000 steps. And you know what? That's in the same damn building. You know, from a 2-bedroom to an efficiency. I mean, What gives? But anyhow, it was hard work, but I enjoyed it because I was with my daughter. We tried to make her do as little as possible because, like I said, she's compromised. But we had a whole lot of fun. I just was happy to see her and hug on her and have her get mad at me, all that good stuff. Even when she got mad at me, I was happy. And she gets mad at me all the time, you know. I can be a pushy dad. Anyhow, Linda Jo Kessinger, welcome aboard. Linda Jo Kessinger. Eric says, radical political stuff is both ways, left or right, so take that for what you will. We are going for some coffee, Eric. And when we got some coffee, I have some, I'm coming there, man. I'm coming there with some action. Michael Redden says, far as I'm concerned, Newsmax and ON are fact-free zones. They are fact-free zones. Daniel Ledo, I don't know what that means. A duck. I don't know what that sign is, Daniel. Deborah Johnson, Egberto, I can imagine when you see your daughter walking across the stage to attain her doctorate degree. Proud papa. You bet your life, baby. Eric Hayes says, CNN got caught just recently planning and being very methodical on their messaging. That was false. Okay. Egberto was so credible that he gets his Fox News from Chris Hayes. LOL, what a joke. No, I don't. I get my Fox News from listening to Fox News. I listen to Fox News as well. CNN is always a tad iffy. Yes, they are. Gotta love it when facts over feelings. Crowd can't accept objective reality. True. And to think Tucker started on MSNBC, but he was always a a-hole on MSNBC. Ohio State University conservatives more susceptible to misinformation than liberals, and that is because if something they can hold on to for a misbelief, they'll do it. Progressive means that you are willing to change your opinion as you progress. Now, let me tell you, there are various progressives that are not all that progressives. I am in an institution right now where they claim to be progressives, but what they mean is they want you to believe the things that they believe, but if you deviate from that, they're not all that progressive. So in that regards, Eric Hayes is absolutely right. I've been working on progressives, and in fact, I've been getting mailers from people like that show me some Democratic meetings in West Virginia and so forth that need a whole lot of help. They need a whole lot of progressive help. So it's on both sides, but they're not morally equivalent. Again, I am not going to get into the false equivalences, but both sides have their people that are very not progressive. All right. Dimitri OG, welcome aboard. What a coincidence. I'm high right now to Egberto. Whoop, whoop. Hey, Dimitri, ¿cómo estás, hermano mío? Michael Rodnan, Republicans dislike social media fact-checking. Democrats welcome it. Survey says there's also the problem that belief in the usefulness of fact-checking also has a partisan divide. Yeah, I hear that. Brian Olson, welcome aboard. COVID is no more a personal choice than the polio vaccine was. This sick listener. Hey, what can I say? Bridge? Oh, that's good, Michael Rudnan. No shame, period. It's all personal choice. No, actually, let me correct that about personal choice and COVID, okay? It's not all personal choice at all. And by the way, I had an interview with Jason Miller today, and we're going so much. You guys are writing so much. I'm going to have to postpone Jason's piece until tomorrow because, again, I love you guys. And if you guys are going to talk and we're going to talk some issues, that's what we're going to talk about. So I want to talk to Eric Hayes about no shame, period. It's all a personal choice. Wearing a mask is not a personal choice. Not getting a vaccine is not a personal choice. Your personal choice to not get vaccinated put many Americans at risk. Your personal choice of not wearing a mask put many Americans at risk. Don't tell me it's a personal choice. It's not. Now, let me tell you what I think as a society we should do. We cannot force a vaccine into your arm. And I don't think we should necessarily force you to wear a mask. What I do think we should do is say, if you don't wear a mask, you can't go into a hospital. If you don't wear a mask, you can't go into a grocery store. If you don't wear a mask, you can't go into a restaurant. If you can't wear a mask, you can't do all these things that other people that are following the sanitation rules can. That's what I'm saying. You are right. It's a personal choice for you to have a vaccine, but it's our choice for not to be around you if you decide not to have a vaccine, if you decide not to wear a mask. So yes, we can't force something into you. The Tuskegee experiments and all these other experiments that's been done on people of color. And people of color should be the ones that are the most fearful. And in fact, some studies show that they are somewhat more fearful than the average population. But the right wingers that just have this fear of the vaccine, nobody wants to hurt you. Nobody does. But it's a personal choice. If you come into my space unvaccinated, if you come into my space without a mask, that's my choice to tell you no. I don't want to be around you. CNN isn't anywhere near as, Fox and Weeds. No. Jessica Taylor said, Eric, don't want no coffee. He wants controversy. Look, I know Eric. You know, we used to lift weights, or I used to watch him lift weights while I'm doing all my aerobics and stuff at the gym. And he's a good guy. I'm telling, look, culture is an interesting thing, right? Culture is a very, very interesting thing. So I think it is important for us to be cognizant about that. And that's why I work with a lot of Republicans without a problem. Because I understand the cultural attachment to certain things. Like I had a cultural attachment to my frailties and overcame them. I made the choice. I want to also encourage others to make that choice. Encourage others to make that choice. Bridge MCP says, caught that Ashley called you during their short show to get you back. Ha ha ha. Believe it or not, that's exactly what happened. And last night, it was my last day there. And I was going to run down to the lobby, her lobby at her apartment complex for 1 hour to get some stuff done. And they said to me, you aren't going anywhere. You're only here for the next few hours. You're staying here. If you want to get any work done, you're going to do it right here in this room. And I said, yes, ma'ams. And that's what I did. You know, that's what I did. Anyhow, Michael Redden, most of the radical left in this country aren't radical at all. And we still follow facts. That is true. Let's see. Nah, Eric is okay, Jessica. Let's see. The duck that quacks. Welcome aboard. How about America helping out the planet's people? Again, $500 million for vaccines. Go, Joe, and name one other country can top that. No other country can top that, but we are doing that. I didn't see the exact number, so you're telling me the exact number is 500 million. I thought it was 500 million vaccines, but I could be wrong. You said it's $500 million. That's not, that will only, I don't know how many vaccines that goes. Okay, Egberto is given free shot. That's what that hydroxychloroquine works. Oh boy, help. Help is on the way for you, brother. Keep listening to the show. All right, let's see. What else have we got here? Egberto loves segregation. Really? Wow. For a guy who loves segregation, I kind of live in a pretty darn white community. I think we are probably 5% black, if that many in my community. Why did I move here? For the school system and the trees. I wanted my daughter educated in the best system that there is, and I wanted to be afforded to be everybody else. Courtney, the SLP, welcome back, Egberto. Muchas gracias, corazón. Muchas gracias. Eric Hayes says, you can't mandate things, and it's up to the business and state government. Well, okay, let's continue. Congratulations, you've received over, we got a whole bunch of messages. Egberto moved to ask the person to move out. Move or ask the person to move out. I don't understand what you're saying there. Anyhow, Brian Olson says, Deborah John, what is the bogus about the vaccine? Polio worked. Have you seen what? Yeah, it does work. It does work. Carl Cox, welcome aboard. Conservatives don't believe in democracy, don't believe in law and order, civil rights, consumer rights. And, you know, the actions of conservative politicians says exactly that. Now, that said, a lot of my conservative friends here don't oblige, and a lot of them are ashamed to be associated with many who call themselves Republicans today, and they've told me as much. The problem is many have also told me that because of their socialization, it is only something they'll tell me. It's funny. You know, they'll tell me. But, you know, they know I'm not going to go out there and say, hey, John Peter really is a closet progressive in many thoughts, but he can't tell you. Congresswoman Jane Harman, former Wilson Center director, new book, Insanity Defense, Why Our Failure to Confront Hard National Security Problems Makes Us Less Safe. Yeah, I heard about that. E2247, welcome aboard. Let's see, Michael Rudnin. Wow, you guys are just messaging me today. Daniel Ledo said there This is where Egberto's jaundice ideology leads, putting yellow stars on people and creating less than citizens. What's next? Special camps? Yeah, Fox News would have you thinking like that, Daniel. I don't know. I want freedom for everybody, brother. For everybody. Bridge MCP, the Delta variant is 88% protected by vaccine. E2247 says, what a dad, Egberto. Happy Father's Day coming up. Thank you, 2247. Michael Rudnin, $500 million isn't enough. And that's why I said I thought it was 500 million vaccine, and that was a starter, but I could be wrong. All right, continuing a question on the $4 billion to be given for Central American causes. Do you think this is prudent, or will it be swallowed up by the governments for other purposes? Do you think the same? Look, I don't know. Could some of it be wasted? Yeah. But could it help a whole lot of people as well? Yeah. I'm from Central America. The United States is responsible for a lot of what happens in Central America. Again, the United States is responsible for a lot that has happened in the United States. It's 500 million doses, not $500,000. I understand. What I'm saying is E2247 said $500 million. I thought it was 500 million doses. But even that is not enough, and I agree. Okay, let's go. Before I go to the next video, I have to do my ask. Folks, please consider joining the PDR Posse. Here are our PDR Posse member. Oh, that was a scholarship. I played that one already, but here are the PDR Posse Cup members. They decided to purchase a cup along with the PDR Posse. But anyhow, you can become a part of the PDR Posse by simply clicking on the join button. We need 1,000 PDR Posse members. We need 1,000 Patreon members. So let's start with the PDR Posse. Please go ahead. Those who are willing to become PDR Posse members, please click that join button right now. If you join right now, I'll put you up on the screen. If you don't see that PDR Posse button, you can go ahead, meaning if you are on Facebook Live or Twitch or one of these others, you can go to politicsandright.com/YouTube, politicsandright.com/YouTube, click on the join button and become a part of the PDR Posse. If you do that right now, I'll put you up on the screen. Alternatively, you can become a patron. And by the way, you can become a member of each one of these different domains because we need all different kind of supports we need from you. To become a patron, go to politicsandright.com/patron, politicsandright.com/patron. Patron is spelled Patreon, Patreon, politicsandright.com/patron. You can also support us via PayPal, politicsandright.com/PayPal, politicsandright.com/PayPal to support us via PayPal. Again, you can get all our products at our store, politicsandright.com/store, politicsandright.com/store, and you can get all our books. If you don't get it, if you get it at our store, we'll sign it and send you a bumper sticker. Otherwise, you can get it at Amazon as well, politicsandright.com/books. That'll channel you right up to the Amazon list where you can get all our books and have fun with it. We have a whole lot of books out there from Egberto Willies, so please get it. You're helping us out when you do it. I forgot to tell you guys something special. I will be the keynote speaker tonight at 7 o'clock Central Time. I think I better find that because I want to put it on the screen. I'm sort of excited for the speech that I'm giving. I'll be the keynote. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I will be the keynote speaker. Is that it here? Yes, yes, yes. Let me put that on the screen real quick like. I'll be the keynote speaker for a humanist organization. And I want to show you guys that. Para ver. There we go. I'll put it up on the screen right now. I will be, go ahead and put it right here. There you go. I am the featured speaker, or I guess a keynote speaker at the AEU. So if you want to register, you can go ahead and register to listen to the speech that I'm going to give tonight at 7 o'clock. So check it out. Anyhow, so please, folks, consider, again, supporting our program. We need you real badly. Without you, we cannot continue what we do here. So, again, anyhow, Michael Rudnin said, here's some good news that might get vaccines to the people around the world faster. World Trade Organization inching forward in COVID. I don't care much about you, but what if you fall out and land on someone below? Oh, that is not very kosher, but it could happen. It could happen. Anyhow, folks, continuing with the program, I want you guys to listen to what's this deal about the rich. Because we all knew this, but when I saw this, it was a bit more real. The rich, we all know it's getting richer. But I think it is important to understand that it's not only that they're getting richer. And by the way, there are good rich people. Don't get me wrong. It's not about hating on the rich. But every rich person who is trying to get the best tax break they can, because they can, remember, in effect, are parasites. I want you to listen to this, and then we'll take it on the other side.
A new report from ProPublica of leaked data shows some of the wealthiest people in the country paid next to nothing compared to their fortune in taxes. Think of it this way. If you paid a single dollar in federal income tax in, let's say, 2018, you paid more than Elon Musk that year, according to this reporting. And I'm willing to bet he makes more money than you do. This is a stunner of a report showing in black and white how the tax system works differently for different people, adding fuel to the fire on Capitol Hill for Democrats looking for change, and getting attention over at the Treasury Department, now looking into how this info got out in the first place.
They're the biggest billionaires in America. Behind bills, in some cases, are not even close, as newly revealed records show exactly how the ultra-rich can work the system to pay nothing in income tax in certain years. The new report, produced by the nonprofit news organization ProPublica.
What we've shown is that actually the system is upside down, that the ultra wealthy pay less in tax than the average person.
In 2018, for example, ProPublica found Elon Musk paid no federal income tax. Neither did Jeff Bezos in 2007 or 2011, the same year he claimed a $4,000 child tax credit. And renowned investor Warren Buffett avoided the most tax of any of the billionaires ProPublica looked at, according to the report.
As shocking as it is, nothing that they did is illegal. Everything that they did is in keeping with our tax code. And the basic reason is we tax income, not wealth.
Rich people often grow their fortunes through stocks, real estate, or companies, so they don't have to pay taxes until they sell. And they can offset their income in other ways, too, meaning it's legal to be worth a lot and pay a little.
This will start a debate that is well needed in America.
ProPublica points out some years the billionaires did pay hundreds of millions in taxes, depending on their investments. The report adding fuel to the fire for Democrats, like Elizabeth Warren, pushing for a wealth tax.
What this shows is it's only hardworking middle-class families that actually pay income tax.
What it shows is the middle class is holding up the whole bag. But, you know, a lot of people like to, whenever you do stories like this, they like to talk about wealth envy, right? It's not wealth envy. It is that the wealthy are parasites. What do I mean by that? They didn't get wealthy because they did the work to get wealthy. They got wealthy because our economic system is designed in such a manner that they can get wealthy by taking a piece of everybody else's work, worth, and service. And we don't teach that in school. We don't teach how the people who control capital actually get it by taking a piece of action from everybody else. I mean, I explain a whole lot of that in my first book, right? First of all, as I see it, class warfare, the only resort to right-wing doom. It is funny because people say, oh, class warfare is not a good thing. We need class warfare because there is a war. And it's the 0.1% and the rest of us all. And it's the 9.9% being the guardians of the 0.1%. And it's the 20% being the lower 10 to 20% being the guardians of the 10% who are the guardians of the 0.1%. Because they are living off of our worth, off of our work, off of our, look, there's a different class, right? There's a guy who owns a pizza shop that works his butt off, employs people. I'm not talking about you. And he's a millionaire. I'm not talking about you. There's that guy who created that factory that created a whole lot of sheets and fabrics and all of that. I'm not talking about you. You may be a multimillionaire. I'm not talking about you. As long as you're paying a living wage, I'm not talking about you. But there are those who take a piece of action, the shareholders who wants to make sure that their dividends are higher. The capital appreciation of their stock is higher by paying everybody else less. That's how they make it. And they become multi-billionaires. And that includes Bill Gates. That includes all these people that then say, but we're giving away all our money at the end. Who the hell cares if you're giving away your money at the end? Because your foundation decides what they deem best on your morality. While when we the people decide what we want to put interests in, that's where it really should be. Pay your damn taxes, please. Because your taxes is what's redistributed to all those that you stole it from. That's all it is. A redistribution of what was stolen. And I don't mean by just giving people free money. I mean by making society better, making sure that people who work for you have where to take their kids for childcare. I mean that people who work for you have great health care. I mean that people who work for you can actually retire without feeling like they are slaves. That's what I'm talking about. That's all. The wealthy have been getting away with legal tax evasion for far too long, says Michael Rodnin. The duck that quacks, a top-notch school system with trees in the hood in New Jersey will set you back $14,000 a year average in land rent, plus $400,000 for the home. Eric Hayes, is ProPublica biased in any way? No, they just tell the truth. Unfortunately, the truth does have a progressive bias. Arthur C. Fort, welcome aboard. Joe Manchin should resign and allow West Virginia governor to appoint a real Democrat. Unfortunately, West Virginia governor changed from a Democrat to a Republican. So if he appoints a governor, it will be a Republican in West Virginia. Another possibility is for a congressional bill mandating a retrocession of West Virginia to the Commonwealth of Virginia. I don't think that'll happen. Okay, let's see what else is here. Top-notch schools. Oh, let's go. Egberto, why Bezos trying to land in space? I don't know. These media sources have a slight to moderate liberal bias. They often publish factual information that utilizes loaded words. True. Let's see. Michael Rudnin says, I think that this link to the Zoom meeting. Yeah. Yes, I think it's correct. All right, let's see. Spent 1/2 to 20 government years in tax fraud investigation, managing a large restaurant unit. Billionaires, many of them, feel entitled to not pay even what they owe. Ego. They often get away with it. Exactly. Michael Redden, overall, we rate ProPublica left center, bias-based story. Look, the truth does have a liberal bias. Tom C., what's needed is proper regulation of monopolies and oligopolies, fair progressive taxation. I agree. All right. Look, I am tired. I am honestly tired. I got on a plane. I left the home at 4 this morning. Got to the airport, jumped on that plane, left at 6 in the morning. Got here at 8-something, 9 o'clock. Got out here to prepare the show, did a little housekeeping for the stuff. I'm honestly tired. I still have a long day left. We have a KPFT board meeting that I'm going to be doing at the same time that we're doing the keynote speech for the American Ethical Union. That's the humanist group that I'm working for today. So I'm a little bit trastornado. You know why? I'm really tired. Daniel Ledo says, just remember when Egberto says we need class warfare, he's saying we need American fighting Americans. No, we don't. No, we don't. We need Americans fighting the plutocracy. That's the class warfare I'm talking about. And thank you, Bridge, for letting him know he's off the mark. Bridge, Egberto friggin' sleep rest those eyes. I know. But it was tough. Brian Olson says, Daniel Ledo, just like the GOP, are unifiers, right? Folks, we're going to have a great We're going to play Jason Miller tomorrow. It's bad nowadays. But you know what? I think it could be a lot worse, but we're going to make it a lot better. We're going to make it a lot better. I got to close down the show now. Got to go prepare for I haven't written the speech yet, but I'm going to write it as soon as I get off right now. Actually, I'm going to write an outline because I know exactly what I want to say already, but I need an outline to make sure I stay on the right frame, if you know what I mean. Please, again, click on the join button if you're here on YouTube. Become a member of the PDR Posse. Also, if you can, become a Patreon. You can become one of each or all of each or whatever you want. I need you all. So please consider becoming a patron, politicsandright.com/patron, politicsandright.com. And thank you for, I'll wait for your message, my dear beautiful lady. As well as PayPal, politicsandright.com/PayPal, politicsandright.com/PayPal. And you can get all our books at politicsandright.com/books. My name is Egberto Willies. This is Politics and Right. And you know how I end this baby. I am what? Out! Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willies. This is a progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, progressive, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. We are an independent media outlet that, unlike mainstream media beholden to corporations, we only owe allegiance to you. Remember, you can also send me a tweet at EGBERTOWILLIES. That is at Egberto Willies. Let us engage. It is Politics Done Right.